But quantum physics is essentially a big Kabbalistic fraud that was promoted by Albert Einstein and these clowns. Albert Einstein stole most of his theories from, for instance, the U.S. Patent Office when he worked there. And in fact, there's a very good book. It's like 2,800 pages, 2,600 pages by John Bjerknes called The Manufacture and Sale of St. Einstein. But basically, quantum physics, they just took the Kabbalah and they repackaged it as a pseudoscience and then sold it to the universities and the public. But it's really there to keep people confused and to make you think that you can't trust your own five senses to look up facts. And, well, you know, there's 11 dimensions. We can't know anything. Might as well just give up, you know. And so you get all of this nonsense coming out of that. But when you understand the onus of proof and not arguing the arbitrary, the onus of proof means that if I make a claim, it's totally on me to provide all of the citations and evidence to support it. And if I don't provide it, it's known as arguing the arbitrary, and it's dismissed by default. Okay, so if I say, you know, there's green aliens, you know, coming down tomorrow, and I don't provide any evidence, it's dismissed by default. Now, some people might say, but what if there really are? Well, we can speculate all day long with no evidence about anything, but what happens is we waste our lives on speculation and not knowing anything. So if we stick to what we can actually verify and look for the facts on, then what happens is we, you know, after several months, we begin to see how religions and cults and things use this area out of the commons. This is where we get common sense from, out of the commons, or, you know, if you think of, you know, getting on the same page and verifying that the words, you know, if you and I are looking at a book and we both turn to page 160, we both should be able to verify the exact words on that page. And then we can say, yep, it says that, it says that, it says that. That's getting on the same page, and we can verify exactly what it says. You know, like one person isn't going to be reading about dogs and cats, and the other person out of the same book going to be reading about quantum physics. But this is what, you know, most of these New Agers and quantum physics pushers want people to believe, is that you know, even if you went to a copy of the exact same book and looked on page 160, you couldn't actually verify what it says. So it's just a world of total insanity, like Roger Rabbit land or something like that, right? And so this is what they want people to believe, is that we live in a world of Roger Rabbit quantum physics nonsense. And so the whole idea is to break people's self-esteem and trust for their own five senses to be able to go out and verify and look up citations and know the truth for themselves on each specific topic. Now, some people come up and say, you can't know the truth. Well, what they're doing is, this is known as the lesser to the greater fallacy. You know, I can know that 1 + 1 is 2. I can look at and verify that that is true. I can look up a citation in a book, verify that that is true. And then what they'll do is they'll take that to, well, you can't know the grand truth of the whole universe. So therefore, we should just speculate out our butts all day about anything that comes to mind. And this is, you know, people that refuse to look at facts and information, refuse to read things before they judge them. Typically what they'll do from there is they fall back on channeling and this kind of behavior for any information, and then they have a collapse in self-esteem, and they end up not trusting themselves, and that's really the intended goal of all of that.
Yes, the idea that knowledge is all subjective and there's no one universal truth obviously aids and abets those in power, because there's no such thing as truth. We can never discern what they're doing.
Right.